Hey guys, Scott here. According to DBD leaks, who are usually pretty accurate in terms of their leaks, there is going to be some sort of a low prio queue in Dead by Daylight. I'm not sure exactly when. It might be for the patch for when the night-related killer comes out. That's probably why they're able to have this information now. But that's just conjecture on my part. And if you're not aware what a low prio queue is, essentially in a lot of games there is a specific queue for people that get reported a lot or that abandon matches a lot or have been deemed to be cheaters or things like that. So they all
initially, and he'll probably talk about this, but initially this scares me. Because yes, if somebody has like a ton of VAC bans and they've actually like hard cheated before, it's very, very good that these people get punished or get put in a low priority queue. But in DBD, people don't only report for good reasons. A lot of people are just like, oh well, you know, they you didn't unhook me when I was on, you let me go second stage, so you're helping the killer, you're aiding the killer, and then they just go in and they report, oh, he was aiding the killer because he let me go to second stage, and that goes in there too. So if they're not able to discern between like actual cheaters that are being reported and just like angry gamers, like you guys have seen those like salt videos. There are people that literally like there are literally like people who will report for like anything that like literally like, you looked at me wrong, that's toxic, I'm reporting you. You know, like those people exist. So like if they're not able to separate the phony reports from like the real reports, this is going to be scary.
just sort of get grouped in with each other, and it's sort of like a funny scenario where all of the deplorables of the community are forced to play with each other. Frankly, I think it's a very hilarious thing, and it's fitting punishment for a lot of people that do these things. But in Dead by Daylight, I feel like it'd be a bit more complicated. Now, the way apparently this is going...
Dude, I've had somebody say that before, Tempe. Like, Darkness Revealed, for some reason, people just don't understand that perk. I guess because it's relatively new. So, like, they'll be like, how did you know where I was? I'm like, bro, I checked the locker. And they're like, what? You're cheating. And it's like, no, it's a dredge perk. Please. I think it depends on how many reports it takes to trigger in a certain time frame. Yeah, but, like, even with that, Toto, like, content creators are going to get targeted then. You know what I'm saying? Because, like not me, right? Because I'm a low viewer Andy, but like a big content creator, there's gonna be a lot of trolls. So even if they get like a lot of reports just because they're trying to troll like a content creator, then like that could also go a very, very wrong way. So
going to work, at least for now, is not quite like a low prio queue. In fact, it's more like a high prio queue. So the people that are cheating or abandoning matches or doing something that's worthy of reports, if they accumulate enough reports, people on the safe list right now, which is just Fog Whisperers apparently, will never encounter those players in their match. So it's actually a high prio queue, not a low prio queue.
You know what's interesting? When I first saw this tweet roll by my Twitter, there were a lot of people saying that that was BS, that the Fog Whisperers had that priority. Are we not the same community that always says, why do you even have the Fog Whisperers if you don't consult them on anything or test things with them? Is that not also us? Do we not also wish behavior would like do more with Fog Whisperers and actually actually listen to their feedback and have them test things? Haven't we been saying that for years? And now that they're actually doing this with this, like, you know, like you say, a high priority system to have cheaters only face cheaters, now we're mad about it. I feel like sometimes DBD players just want to be angry, you know, because like, is this not what we've been saying? Is this not what we've been wanting them to do with the Fog Whisper program, is actually like use them and take them in and actually use them as a resource, because they're more close to, like, because they play the game every day more and watch the game every day, even if they're not playing like we do. So that's closer to like a real, like, true vision of the game, right? So I don't know. It feels kind of hypocritical to be like, oh, I can't believe only Fog Whisperers have that. It feels entirely hypocritical. We always angry, yeah. List of Fog Whisperers, because I'm sure it's not exclusively Fog Whisperers instead of larger. That'd be interesting. It would be interesting if it was only Fog Whisperers. But there's like, I guess there's not really anything to like apply otherwise so far.
And this is triggered by, I guess, mass reports for cheating and exploits and things like that. So that's a pretty scary subject when you sort of automate that process, which is why it's probably limited to Fog Whispers right now.
That's the big thing.
So
the automation is the scary part.
Outraged by this, we got to look at it from a couple of realistic angles. First off, this is not even a feature in the game yet. This is just a leak, so it's probably not even active yet.
Yep.
And if it is, this is most likely a test run, because who better to test with than content creators that you have a direct line of communication with? It just makes sense, right? So you can see if their experience has been better, if it's been working, if they don't encounter cheaters anymore, if this is going to be something that actually improves the experience, and then maybe we can roll it out to a larger amount of the player base. The thing is, though, when you roll it out to a larger amount of player base, I get a little scared, because I have a feeling people report in Dead by Daylight for the dumbest possible reasons.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
There are people reporting for face camping and tunneling. I guarantee there are reports for 4-man survive with friends. And if it's not able to distinguish between these, and it just automatically adds people to a low prio queue because they camped and tunneled or something like that, as funny as that would be, that's not fair. That's stupid.
Yeah, like that's the big like if. That's the big what if of this scenario. Is it automated? Because if it's automated, then that's scary, right? like if it's automated, an automated system can be abused, and it has been. You guys see that all the time, and like where like the YouTube report system gets abused by people all the time. Automated report systems are garbage. Automated report systems, by and large, do not work, and often can be abused to the detriment of the community it's trying to protect. So that is kind of like the big worry, right? Like the huge worry.
Stupid. And to automate a process like that is extremely scary, in my opinion. They talked about an automated ban system a long time ago, and thank God they didn't add that. We were all freaking out about that too when they rolled back that feature, so we didn't have to end up worrying about it. But leaving a low prio queue in the hands of the community that frankly doesn't even know what to report for, from what I've seen, it might be too much power in the wrong hands. Now, the law of numbers applies, and if it really is a very large amount that has to report them, then probably if you play like a scumbag, some people report you, but not enough to put you in this queue. So this is probably why they're testing it with Fog Whispers right now, because they need to know what that number is to be fair, to actually target the cheaters, but not ban people that may just play scummy or something like that. Because
because like, okay, so maybe this is like, I don't know how this stuff works, but this is just my idea. Like, could they not just like put people who have been, I guess this is a very heavy term, but like convicted, right? Like people who they've actually taken action on. Like, can the people that have only had like action taken on upon them by the team be put in this queue? Or is it like, you know, more like what Scott's saying, where it's just like it's based on reports? Because I feel like if it's people that have had action taken upon them, this could actually be fine. Right? Like if it's only people that have had action taken upon them, like that would be fine. But if it's just based on reports, that is the worry that they will, like, you know, if it's just based on reports only, then people can report whatever, really. So that clearly will not work. Is the IP thing a leak still in the game? You know what? Who knows, Tay? Literally, who knows? Because every time it happens, behavior never comments on it, and then after a couple months, it just goes away. Like behavior doesn't comment on it, the DDoSing stops, and it just goes away. It's like the cheating thing. Like does the hacking and DBD ever really go away, or do they just come in waves? Like that's literally like that's more what it's like. It doesn't really ever, because the same exploit that happened earlier this year is the same one that happened during the artist chapter. Like, it literally is the same exploit. They found that it was quite literally the same exploit that they were using before. It was the same exploit that existed during the artist chapter that they still, you know, it still remains unfixed. So, yeah, that's comforting.
You know, you can play like that if you want to. It's not against the rules. There's no
exactly.
rules being broken.
Exactly. And that's what I'll say about, like, the conversation you guys are having. Yeah, it's not fun to face a camper or a tunneler. Just like it's not fun to face like a Like we were having plenty of matches today where it was like 3 prove thyself, a toolbox, and people were just hammering those gens out, and I was just bored out of my mind. Like, that's not reportable. Those matches made me miserable today. I was trying to be nice and run no slowdown, and then like I got a bunch of gen rushing Andes. Made me sad, made me annoyed. I didn't report them, but if this system's automated, maybe I could, and maybe I'd put them in the cheater priority. You know, and you don't want that. You don't want, like, play styles are completely different from cheating, and you don't want to mix these bags together. Cheating and annoying play styles should not be treated as the same. They just should not. So, yeah. Hello, hey Salem, how's it going?
Because it would be to punish people for that. It's stupid. You can't do that. On the other side, let's say they don't roll this out for everybody. Let's say they just keep this for a Fog Whisper related thing. Even then, I still can't really think of any downside sort of envy or jealousy, because at the very least, it'll make it so the people that are figureheads of the game, that represent the game, are having a more positive experience, which will give behaviors, on average, more players.
Yeah, so, this is like literally what he just said. Like, this is that's one of the things I also saw, like, down in the comments for this like Twitter thread, is like, well, if it only goes out for Fog Whispers, that BS, why can't we be protected? It's like, you don't want people logging into your game, logging into your highest viewing like streams, and seeing that, like, oh, they're being held hostage by a hacker, because that's what hackers usually. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna bother a lot of people. You don't face a lot of hackers. You really don't. I'm sorry that guy, like, held his sprint burst at the exact right moment, and now you think he's speed hacking. It happens. You're not facing a bunch of soft hackers. You're really not. You're not actually facing a bunch of soft hackers. You're really not. Hacking does exist in this game. There are a lot of hackers in this game because of the free weekends they keep doing. But there's not enough that there's this mass volume that you're facing them every other match, like people seem to claim. They're like, I see so many times somebody will like come into my YouTube or my Twitch and they'll be like, oh, I ran into a soft hacker the other day. And I'm like, well, what did they do? It's like, well, they were slightly faster than me. It's like, okay, well, did you test it, or did you report them? And it's like, no, none of that stuff ever comes with it. But everybody in the community is like convinced that they're facing hackers all the time. Hackers quite literally have a document of streamers to target, to do shenanigans with, to do shit with, people to bother. If you are just randomly in a match of DBD, the chance of you having a hacker is so low, because there's no attention to be gained from it, right? There's no attention to be gained. In reality, the hackers are targeting big streamers because, like, that's where they get their attention, and that's also where they can advertise, because if they're directly profiting from the hacks and selling the hacks, that's advertisement for your hacks, right? So it's like they're realistically targeting big streamers. You running into just a random match of DBD, you are not running into hackers all the time. You're really not. And if you have this conception, or this conception, if you have this perception that you are running into hackers all the time, you are flat out wrong. And you need to provide proof if you really think that you are running into hackers literally all the time. I stream this game 5 days a week. I don't remember every once in a while I'll be like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of sus. But that's it. That's literally it. And that happens like maybe once a week, if that. I don't even think that. I feel like the last time I said that looks kind of sus was like a week and a half ago. That's like a week and a half. That's like twice a month, if that I go, that was kind of sus. And that's it. Not even like confirmed hacking. Like, just like, that looks kind of weird. I couldn't really explain that one. Right? So, I don't know. I feel like the community is freaking out about this because the community is wrong. I feel like the community is freaking out about this because the community has this perception that they're running into hackers all the time, when really they're just bad at the game or don't understand the game. And it's okay. I want to phrase this. That's okay. it's okay to not understand the game. It's okay to be like, oh, well, why did her scratch marks disappear? And the answer quite literally is DBD's just a broken game. And that's literally it. there isn't a better explanation other than just DBD is a broken game and bad stuff happened. Just want a scapegoat for being bad. Literally, like, it's like they don't want to feel dumb for not knowing something or not understanding something, and they also want to not feel like they're bad. So they know that they have this little scapegoat they can go to of like, oh, well, the game has a hacking problem, so I'll just blame it on hacking. You know, you're not running into hackers this much, and it is within the company's best interest to defend its collaborators because they're the ones being mostly targeted. So, yeah.
So it ends up still being a net positive for the game overall, and it has no real negative effects that I can think of. So, as salty as people might be about this, I can't really think of a downside about it. There's also another aspect to this that you have to understand, that people are upset that, you know, Fog Whispers get special treatment. It's not fair. And you need to take a step back in a 30-second life lesson here. No, it's not fair. There are people that are more important than you. That's just how life works. They are, according to behavior, more important in their eyes because they get them more players, therefore.
And like most Fog Whispers, like listen, I have said my piece about the Fog Whisperer program before. I have mixed feelings about it, and I have talked about that both on here on the Twitch and on the YouTube before. They're allowed to pick who they want to represent them, and also most of the people that are in the Fog Whisperer program have worked incredibly hard to get where they are. Like, they didn't just, like, you know, like spin the bottle and went, yeah, that guy over there, Fog Whisperer. A lot of these people have streamed for a really long time and really, like, worked really hard to become a prominent and well-revered member of the community. So to just kind of like say like, oh, well, that's unfair and I want that, without like putting in the work and energy to have it, that just doesn't strike me as right. That doesn't strike me. I don't agree. You don't agree. Okay. I'm interested. You don't agree with that? You think that a lot of Fog Whispers are just not picked, they're not picked based on merit? Or what do you not agree with? People are bored because I feel like the hacking situation isn't being dealt with. It is, though. Like, this is them quite literally doing something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is quite literally them like starting to do something about it. You know? Like, they're trying to like test a priority system that makes cheaters go against other cheaters. You know, that's like the whole point of this. Is that if people are cheating, they're just gonna end up like, you know, facing mostly themselves and not like being, you know, in the general population of DBD. I think that, I don't know, I've said, I've had my own thoughts and gripes about the Fog Whisperer program, and I clearly don't want that. That's something I've said openly before. It's not something I'm pursuing. It's not something I care about for reasons. But like, I don't know. I don't think that like the community hatred towards them makes a lot of sense a lot of the time. You know, don't get that behavior can't entirely remove cheating. Yeah, you can do better. You can do better, but you can never entirely remove cheating for sure. Appreciate the chat isn't an echo chamber. Thank God, dude. Thank God. This is why these videos are interesting, because like we get to actually discuss things, and it's not just like, you know, like you said, just an echo chamber of like, oh well, thank you, Mr. Streamer, I love your opinion. Da, da, da. But if they can put themselves in the target streamer, like, how would they? But no, but like Dex, that's what they're saying, is like they're gonna mess with their cues from like the behavior side. They're gonna take that power that they have and force them to go against other cheaters instead. Yeah.
Or more revenue, more cosmetics bought, things like that. Fog Whispers are more important to behavior than the average player. That's just a fact. That's how the world works. You can be upset about it if you want, but you're going to be angry your entire life. There's a reason celebrities like don't have to pay when they go in restaurants and stuff like that. Some people...
I don't like his angle. I don't like the way he's going with it, where it's just like, some people are more important than you. I think that's... We're all equal. I don't agree with that. I don't like what he's saying. I think that take's bad. I think that take is dog. But what I'm saying is that like Fog Whisperers were not picked based upon, you know, picked out of thin air. They were picked based on merit most of the time. Working hard, trying to cultivate a positive community, something like that. They were picked based upon merit. So they're not there just because, you know, behavior said so. Usually they're picked for a reason. So this idea that just some people are more important than you, that's kind of like, I don't know. I don't agree with that take. I think we're all equal.
Are just treated better because they are more beneficial to the person treating them. That's just how life works. So even if this doesn't get spread to everyone else, I still think as someone that's not a Fog Whisperer, has no affiliation with behavior whatsoever, I get no benefit from this. I still think it's better than nothing, because at least the game will be viewed more positively. You know, because when a bunch of the big content creators get targeted, articles start being posted, there's more attention drawn to the negativity around cheating. People see the cheating clips that might bring other people to start cheating.
Yep.
It just makes it worse for everybody. So even if only a couple of people this is better for, it's still a better than nothing. So I don't really see how you can possibly complain about this. But let's hope that they do kind of, you know, make the system universal, that everyone can use and that everyone can benefit from, while also not leading to false, you know, low priority queue bans and things like that. So definitely a little interesting topic there. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, this is just a leak so far.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like saying some people are just more important to you is probably gonna, like, I don't know. I feel like that's a bad take in general, not even just in DVD, but in life. Some people are just better than you. I feel like that's gonna agitate more than anything. Oh.
That being said, they're right almost every time with their leaks, so this is probably a real thing. But we'll see what they actually do with the feature in the coming months. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like just outright being like, hey, some people are better than you. Deal with it, idiot. It's just kind of like, that's not the take. That's not it. But yeah, hopefully TLDR, the system's not automated, so it doesn't like pick up on false reports. It's a big deal. But if they can actually implement a system that makes cheaters kind of like high priority to only queue with each other, I feel like that would do a lot of help. That would help a lot, and that would make things. I feel like that would be good for the game. And also the Fog Whisperer stuff. Like, I don't know. It feels like low hanging fruit, right? It feels like low hanging fruit, right? Like it's just like the easy like beat him up. And like I keep saying, it's like, you know, like I don't want to be in the Fog Whisper program. I don't care about it. I've explained my reasons for that, and my own qualms with that. But I'll be the first to tell you that, like, I don't know, it gets old. It gets really old listening to the DVD community whine because certain content creators have the little foggy thing next to their name and they can put that badge on their stream. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares that you're whining and you hate them. Like, it's like you think you're the cool kid because you're doing something contrarian or something, and you're like, yeah, screw the Fog Whispers. But like, nobody cares. Like, literally nobody cares. If you have like this weird just like hate for Fog Whispers for some reason, like, just don't. Just stop. It's just weird. Nobody care. You're not special because you hate the Fog Whispering program. Like, let it go, bud. There's more important things in life than like hating Fog Whisperers. I promise. So yeah, that's my take. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is gonna go up on YouTube like all of these do. So yeah, if you want to say hi and wave, this is everybody. You know, say hi and wave to all the people down below. Everybody look down like, hi, how's it going, everyone? I did invite a lot of people to come out and, you know, watch. Usually we do these on Tuesdays, but we've been doing them on Mondays as well lately. So if you're here and you want to be part of these conversations, usually we do these on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's like a nice little fun break between the games. So if you want to come hang out and be a part of the conversation, you are more than welcome to. YouTube nerds, yep. Damn, I missed it. Okay, back to Debbie Delight. YouTube, I'm a DJ, you really are. Very much so. I'm late, but that's what counts, yeah. Google, you don't own me. They own me. Actually, they don't. It's more Amazon, actually. All right.